You know, in Australia, we tend to eat informally. I feel quite a bit lower than you. Perhaps I should have got as big a cushion as you. We do it informally here. A casual picnic or a barbie tends to be the way to go, or even a tray in front of the telly watching the morning show.
But there are some occasions which require a formal table setting, and then it helps to know the rules. So our modern manners expert, Anna McPherson, is here to show us what goes where. Hello, Anna.
Good morning.
Now, we've got Natalie from Victoria on the phone. What's your question for Anna, Natalie?
Oh, hi guys. Good morning, Anna.
Morning.
I'm inviting my future parents-in-law over for dinner and cooking a beautiful three-course dinner. And I want to make a formal table setting, but I was wondering if you had some tips for me.
Natalie, I do have some tips for you, and let me start with the placement of the table setting. So a rule of thumb for anyone who's setting the table is you work from the outside in. So in this case, I'll just remove these chopsticks. Thank you. We're going to have a typical three-course meal. We would have soup, so this is a soup spoon, which is different from a dessert spoon because this is round and that is oval. And the reason is because they go into your mouth differently. But that's a whole other session.
Right.
So we'll start with the soup spoon. Then I've got a bread knife here, which will accompany your soup meal. Then an entree knife, a main knife, and a dessert spoon. So if you're going to have soup, entree, main, you'll have this cutlery, or if you're going to have soup, main, dessert, you'll have that cutlery. And on this side, we've got your entree fork, your main fork, and your dessert fork. I hope that makes sense.
Anna, what if you pick up the wrong one at the wrong time? Because that's what I always get scared of doing.
Well, if you follow the rule of thumb that you work from the outside in, you can't go wrong. And if you do pick up the wrong one, the best thing is just to keep going and not make a fuss.
Bread and butter plate on the left.
Always on the left.
And the wine glass should be...
The wine glasses are above the knives. Now, the reason for this is because we drink with our right hand, even if you're left-handed, and that way, when the wait staff are moving around you, they know where your arms are going to be. Now, they're in this order of champagne, white wine, red wine, because that is the order that we would drink them. So champagne with the hors d'oeuvres.
Closest to your body.
Closest to you.
Right.
And then after we're finished with champagne, we'll be moving on to white, perhaps with the entree. And then after the entree, we'll be moving on to perhaps a steak for main, which is the red wine.
Okay.
Now, I just want to point out something about the glasses. You'll notice the difference in sizes. Now, woo, that's a loud noise. So with the champagne flute, it is designed like this to contain the bubbles, so a small opening. Whereas the white wine doesn't have as much of a bouquet as the red wine, so it has a smaller opening.
Oh, okay.
So it's not about the size of the glass, it's about the size of the opening.
There you go.
Right.
So on the subject of wine glasses, Rebecca from Sydney has written in. Rebecca wants to know the correct way to hold a wine glass. And do you hold it differently for red or white?
I love this question because in Australia we see people holding our red wine like this, and it's fabulous. So champagne flute and a white wine should be held by the stem because we don't want to make the wine warm. A red wine, we hear it should be served at room temperature, but it's room temperature in Europe, which is about 17 degrees, not 25 degrees. So we should always hold our red wine by the stem.
Okay, and like that though? Is that
Like
how you
that?
hold it?
Yes.
Oh,
If you prefer to hold it like that, which some men do, so you can swirl it.
Yeah, so what
that's
about when you
acceptable.
see people who look like they know what they're doing this that sort of job, like in between the fourth finger and the second knuckle?
It's not correct.
Not correct. Looks good.
So you'll have one up on them.
Excuse me,
now, won't you?
I leaned across you.
That's okay.
All right. Now, next we received an email from Julie, who lives in Queensland. She asks, if you should wait for the waiter to unfold your napkin for you when you're eating at a restaurant, or should you go it alone?
Well, Julie, if you're lucky enough to be at a posh restaurant where they place your napkin on your lap, that should be done when you sit down. So if they haven't done it, it's not going to happen. And then you can go ahead and do it yourself, but not with a flourish. This is ridiculous. Simply place it across your lap. Now, your napkin never, ever goes down in front of your shirt.
Oh.
I didn't think
And I didn't mean to be looking at you, Larry, when I said that. Never,
Except
ever.
when you're in a rib restaurant. You can do it at a rib restaurant, right? No, I'm getting 0 from both people.
You get no love for Anna on that
I'm getting nothing.
answer.
Now, your napkin is designed to catch crumbs, so don't just put it in a little spot. Let it cover your whole lap, and that is what it's for, to protect your clothing.
Okay, and what should you do with the napkin? So you're halfway through the... Hang on, let me do it. Not with a flourish, mind you, like this. And I want to go to the bathroom, so I have to get up. What do I do? Where do I put it?
Cut the lap cam. There
Well,
it is.
not, perhaps not.
Yes, maybe you want to tuck it down your blouse today,
I don't want to do that. Where should we put it for the bathroom?
Now, under no circumstances do we say, I'm just going to the dunny or any of those inappropriate things. We just
I've been
need
doing
to
everything
say,
so wrong for so long.
Excuse me, And then you get up from your seat
Like this.
and you loosely fold it and put it on the table. Never the way that it was folded before, or
Yes.
you can put it on the back of your chair.
Oh, okay.
See, Anna, if it's tucked into your shirt, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just leave it in to go to the toilet.
You can wipe your hands on it.
Not on your plate, on the bread and butter plate.
Yes.
Okay.
Or just
the
on the
back of your
table.
chair.
Loosely folded.
Finally, Jenny has written in from South Australia. Now, Jenny's friends enjoy eating Thai food, but Jenny feels awkward with chopsticks and ends up eating with a fork. What is the best way to learn? And here are your chopsticks here.
Thank you very much. The best way to learn, you can look on the internet for instructions about that, but we hold the chopsticks, and you two might like to have a try
Yes,
at
we'll have a
this.
go.
I'm sure you're both experts. You hold it up the top here between your finger and thumb, and you should be able to manoeuvre it with your top finger and pick things up, like, for example, with those M&Ms. Now, it warrants mentioning that it is perfectly acceptable to use a fork, because in Japanese and Chinese cultures, when you're just going to be eating rice, they make it exceptionally sticky.
Yes.
So that it can be picked up in clumps, and we don't do that here. So, no, that's get out.
Totally inappropriate.
Oh, sorry.
You're in the corner.
You're going to see me later.
Yeah, okay.
Now, I think it warrants mentioning that we've got this beautiful centrepiece, which should always go on the table if you have one.
Yep.
And it's a lovely feature to have, so that's certainly worth mentioning.
That's beautiful, but again, not so it's too high, right? You need to be able to
That's
see over
exactly
the
right.
top.
Can you see me?
Yeah, Anna, that's beautiful.
That's lovely.
Yes.
All right, Anna, thank you very much.
Thank you. Some really good
Appreciate it.
advice there, and you can't take
See
him
you
anywhere.
later.
You can dress him up, but you can't take him anywhere. Soon, Elle McPherson and Natalie Imbruglia both have new men in their lives. So which one is dating a younger man? We'll have all today's gossip shortly. That's
But
actually
now-
covering quite well, those flowers.
But now I'm going to the dunny. Glenn's overcoming his fear of iron.